What's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the slain rapper Houdini. Now, for those of you who don't know, Houdini was a rapper from Toronto, Canada, who had a burgeoning career, and it looked like he was on the rise in the game. But sad to say, just like many rappers in the hip-hop game in the year 2020, man, he lost his life before he could meet his full potential in the rap game. Now, this story is crazy to say the least, because a lot took place after Houdini passed away that was even crazier. Now, Houdini's shooting alone made national news and international news because it was a brazen attack that took place in downtown Toronto. But then on top of that, they had a memorial for him about a week later that also got shot up. Now, in the news today, we learned that the 3 people who are suspected to have taken place or were a part of the shooting at the memorial have actually been arrested, and 3 more people are at large, and their names have been released, and authorities are currently looking for them. Now, Houdini's situation is tragic, and the way that he went out, man, is horrible to say the least. But the specifics about what went down afterwards are just as interesting. So before we get to the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this situation that took place in May of 2020. Now, that would be the tragic shooting of the rapper Houdini. Now, in May of 2020, HotNewHipHop.com, they posted this story about a Toronto rapper, Houdini, shot at age 21. Now, the report goes on to say this. It says, rising Toronto rapper Houdini, born DiMaggio Antonio Jenkins, was tragically shot and killed in the entertainment district of downtown Toronto this week. Now, this report obviously took place the week of the shooting in 2020, and it continues by saying this. It says the artist had been attracting tons of attention for his creative style, making friends with Tory, Lanez, Killy, and other major forces in his city. He was on pace to become the next big star to break out of Toronto, unfortunately losing his life to senseless gun violence on his journey. Now, the story continues also by saying within hours of his death, social media messages started to pour in with support from Houdini's family, including posts from Tory Lanez, Meek and others who were familiar with the rapper. Now, Tory Lanez was probably the most notable artist who was deeply hurt about this situation, and he put this on social media. Along with posting a picture of the slain rapper, Tory Lanez took to social media and said, "I'm trying and I can't fight the tears from falling. I can't even find the words for a speech right now. Y'all took my dude, and all he wanted to do was live. Rest in peace, Houdini, forever." And a lot of people shared Tory Lanez's sentiment. Now, this was a blow to the local hip-hop community there in Toronto, no doubt, but it was a shockwave to hip-hop in general because it was the start of a situation that took place in hip-hop last year that is hard to categorize because it was a wave of violence and hip-hop artists getting shot and killed that hasn't stopped to this day, man, and hopefully will stop. You know, I would hate to put bad juju out there. But a local media source there in Canada, they talked about the unlimited potential that Houdini had. And they said this specifically. They said Houdini had unlimited potential as an artist. Jenkins grew up in Brampton, Ontario, and was said to be one of the most streamed independent Canadian rappers. Warner Music Canada, which worked with him on a compilation album showcasing Toronto's rising stars, had said in a statement, he was an exceptionally talented artist. Now, after all the love and well wishes, you could tell that Houdini was a beloved artist in the city of Toronto, and he had a lot of potential as an artist in general, right? Well, a lot of people wanted to pay their respects. So a couple of weeks later, almost 2 weeks later, they met in order to have a memorial for the slain rapper. And that's where tragedy struck. Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man, and I know you're enjoying this video, but make sure you go and you follow me on social media platforms like Instagram, and also go to my Twitter page and make sure you hit that follow button there so you can get the latest and greatest updates of when I'm dropping my videos. And man, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button so we can spread this video around, and we trying to get 2,000 likes, so run them likes up. All right. Now, based on a news report out of the local news there in Toronto, these are the latest developments of what happened and what we know about the situation revolving around Houdini's memorial. Now, according to this report, there was a large crowd gathered on June 9th, 2020 in the parking lot next to Highway 401 on the north end of the city. The crowd had come together to honor DiMaggio Jenkins, a hip-hop artist known as Houdini, who had been shot and killed a few weeks earlier. Police say around 11:20 p.m., a vehicle moving westbound on the highway shot at the crowd. They say at least 9 people in the parking lot started shooting back towards the highway for about 45 seconds. 2 people suffered gunshot wounds, and police say they've arrested 3 people, have identified 3 other suspects, and are working on identifying the remainder. Now, what's wild is a lot of the shooting that took place was caught on a Ring camera nearby. You could see people at the memorial paying their respects, then gunfire erupts, and certain people start to turn around and return fire. Now, some people were ducking and covering, but there were several individuals who were at the memorial who were returning fire at the vehicle that was obviously shooting towards the crowd. Now, in this situation, law enforcement was definitely on top of their job because they came up with a list of suspects and they started making arrests immediately. Now, the arrests and the suspects that are at large are listed like this. Now, in the report, it says that Traquan Mahoney, 21 of Brampton, has been arrested and faces multiple charges, including unauthorized possession of a firearm and discharge of a firearm with intent to wound. Gladell Lindeneck, 25 of Newmark, has been arrested and faces several charges, including 2 counts of failing to comply with a release order, unauthorized possession of a firearm, and discharge of a firearm with intent to wound. And finally, Maurice Dunnigan, 37 of Toronto, has been arrested and charged with discharge of a firearm with intent to wound, possession of a loaded, prohibited, or restricted firearm, and unauthorized possession of a firearm. Now, police have identified several other suspects. There's 3 more names out there with mugshots, and they put them out there like this. They have 19-year-old Javante Johnson of Oshawa, 25-year-old Terrell Burke Whitaker of Brampton, and 30-year-old Glenn Danchi of Toronto are all suspects involved in this shooting. Now, obviously, they're at large, and at this time, there are no reports if they've all been caught or not, but their mugshots are definitely out there for the public to see. This goes to show that in Toronto, Canada, and especially that Brampton area, there's a lot going on as far as activity, and hip-hop is heavily involved, especially in these feuds when you have rappers trying to climb to the top. In the past decade, Toronto has had a stronghold in hip-hop with the likes of Drake and Tory Lanez pretty much controlling the sound of what's going down in hip-hop today. One more than the other, but you get my drift. Now, what do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you think that it's wild that folks would actually show up and shoot up a memorial for a slain rapper after his passing and not allowing him to rest in peace? Or do you feel this is something that is common in the streets, so we should be used to it in hip-hop by now? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.